Hey, it's been a minute. It has been quite a minute. Today, I'm just gonna keep it nice and tranquilo. It's a rainy day, and my favorite thing to do on rainy days is make brownies. So it's not really a true Campo kitchen. We're not getting super creative. I just want to make brownies on a rainy day because it's nice, and it's like the one type of day where it's not too hot to use the oven. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I turned the light on. Maybe it's a little bit more light. It's only about 3 o'clock, right? 2:45 to be exact, in the afternoon right now. But because it's so rainy, it's been raining on and off all day. It's been raining on and off. It's been raining on and off all day. I think it's been a long time since I've spoken English out loud like that. So it's been pretty cloudy, so hopefully this light will add a little bit of something. So, it's a simple brownie recipe. I'll put the link in the description if you're interested, but just for fun, I'll show you the ingredients that I'm using. But I think this will be like a little bit more of talking and a little bit less of like actually showing what I'm doing, because it's brownies. We have eggs, vanilla. Inside that container with the cow on it is my oil. Cocoa, flour, baking powder, an absolute mess of sugar and salt. And that's it. Okay, so the first step to this recipe, as is with most baking recipes, is to preheat the oven. I never preheat the oven, and I'm not going to start today. So we're going to move on to step 2, which is mixing the oil, sugar, and vanilla. Also, if you're seeing smoke, I'm burning incense right now. It's a nice thing to do. I won't really need to in a second here because it's going to smell like bacon brownies. Alright, so I'm going to mix the stuff in a smaller bowl. So like I said, I'm going to do a little bit more talking, or a little bit more talk about my experience rather than focus on the actual recipe. I'm doing 3/4 of a cup of vegetable oil. So I figured, you know, it's a rainy day. I'll talk about rainy days. Rainy days in Paraguay, because it really is kind of a big part of my experience here. The rain really does affect a lot. And the reason behind that's pretty simple. It's the dirt roads. So when you live out in the quote-unquote Campo, which I consider myself as a person who lives in the Campo, we do have a cobblestone road in Patrara, but that's just the main route there, and everything else is dirt. So when it rains, as you can imagine, everything turns into mud. So, you know, you can't really go anywhere, and because it's all mud. Even like walking is just awful. Motorcycles, motos, which is what most people use for transportation, doing a cup and a half of sugar, are kind of useless in the rain and the mud as well. And so really not a lot goes on while it's raining. And so I have mostly a love, but sometimes it's bothersome, relationship with rain. Because it's a really wonderful excuse to just relax and sit back, and like you don't really have any responsibility because no one else is doing anything, and like there's really no expectations to do anything. It can definitely be frustrating when you want to do something, or you're planning on doing something, or what happens a lot with me is like I'll need to do some. My vanilla is essentially gone. I'm gonna have to get more of that. is I'll want to like do some traveling. Like this past week, it's been raining a lot this past week. It's also been ridiculously hot. We're nearing the end of summer right now, so it's been just so hot, over 100 degrees all week. It's also been really rainy and humid. And so this past week I was supposed to have a meeting with everybody that lives in my region of Paraguay, with all the volunteers. But I couldn't go because my bus doesn't run when it rains, or when it even thinks about raining. A lot of the time school is canceled when it rains because students live far away and they have to go in motos, and it's just like, it's not safe. So that's kind of the skinny on rainy days. It is really nice to just kind of have an excuse to just relax and, you know, not have to worry about too much. A little bit too much flour. I'm just gonna not pour it all. Which is why I really love rainy days. I think it takes a while for those of us who aren't used to, you know, being so affected by the weather to kind of understand how the world kind of has to stop when it rains. And so I think it can be frustrating, but, you know, just kind of like a broken record here. It's also really beautiful. It's also an incredible break from the heat. I think it's probably, oh, my incense is gone. I think it's probably at least like 15 to 20 degrees cooler today than it was yesterday. Oh no. Cocoa overload. Ooh. The measurements for this recipe are very strange. Like for the cocoa, it calls for like a 1/3 cup and then 2.5 tablespoons of cocoa. So I'm really sorry if this is out of focus. I know it probably will be. I'm sorry if it's annoying to watch, but you know, what isn't annoying about that? Just kidding. Alright, baking powder. How much? See, again, it says 1/4 teaspoon and 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder. That's such a weird measurement. This feels like way too much. Dang it. Dang it, Bobby. Barnacles. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, maybe that's enough. Does this look like 1/4 and 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder? Which also, this is baking soda because I can't get baking powder, but it works. Oiko. Guarani of the day. Oiko. Or oikota. Which I really like because I'm just adding more. I really like oikota because it's like, I say like, oh, it'll work. It'll work all the time. And so it's just nice. It's already part of my vernacular. And this is a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I always just add a little pinch. Okay. Oh wow, I totally just skipped the egg part. Gotta add eggs to my sugar. My eggs are real sweaty. I don't know if this gives you an idea of just how humid it is, but these eggs were in my fridge and now they are out of my fridge and they're sweating, just like me. Do I know how to crack an egg? Jeez. Ah! Oh my god, look at this just disaster of an egg crack. I'm honestly not usually this bad at cooking. Or baking at least. I think it's like whenever I decide to like film myself cooking, I'm just astronomically worse at it than I normally am. What do I use? Do I use a fork? I'm gonna use a baking spatula. Alright, well combined. Check. It says to add it slowly, but I say I'm gonna do what I want. I'm kind of giggling because I'm pretty sure the last time I did one of these, I'm like, I'm gonna focus on eating better. But I still make brownies frequently. I made banana bread the other day for my friend's birthday. My goal, this never happens with brownies, mind you. My goal is like, I'll say like, oh, I'll bake something and then I'll go share it with people. Good integration. But you know what happens, and this happened with the banana bread, I gave half of it to my friend and her family for her birthday for them to share, and then I just kept half of it in my fridge, and I doled it out. Like, I had some visitors, some little girls visited me the other day, and I gave them some and they loved it, but then I just kept eating it, just kept on eating it. Look at that rich chocolatey just flub. The pan that I'm using is actually soaking right now, so I'm gonna wash that and then we're gonna pour it in here. I'm back and my hair is up because it's getting sweaty. Really fucking funny. My pan is washed and I'm just gonna grease her up a little bit. Oh man, the sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Okay, anyway, ooh, this batter is thick. I think that's good, but is it? Give it one last stir. This looks good, but it looks really thick, right? These brownies are about to be dummy thick. Well, this is going to be delicious. I better share these or I will be really upset with myself. Alright, we're gonna pop this bad boy in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes. I think they're gonna be fine. They are really bubbly though. It's hard to have a bad brownie, right? Okay, I'm back several hours later. It is now 6 o'clock. But I had to let it cool, so I just ran some errands and it's been cooling right here. And this is the finished product. It smells really good. My brownies always turn out kind of cakey, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's the recipe or like the really weird measurements. But it always turns out kind of cakey, but it also always turns out really good. Tomorrow is the first day of school, and I'm thinking about cutting up tiny pieces for my students, but we still don't know how many students there are. This is what they look like. Aren't they cute? Okay, they're definitely really oily, but they're really good. Bye!